Did you know Airbnb almost died before it ever got big? It's hard to imagine now, but the company that changed the way we travel was once on the verge of total collapse. The founders were just regular people, facing the same fears and doubts as anyone starting out. That's right. Just a few years before becoming a billion-dollar business, they couldn't even pay their rent. Their bank accounts were empty, bills were piling up, and every day felt like a race against time. The stress was real, and the pressure was mounting. Let me take you back to 2008. Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia were two broke roommates in San Francisco. Their apartment was tiny, cluttered, and barely affordable. They were just two dreamers with a wild idea, living in one of the most expensive cities in America. Their rent was sky high, and investors wanted nothing to do with their air mattresses on the floor idea. Most people thought it was ridiculous. Who would pay to sleep on a stranger's airbed? The rejection emails kept coming, and their landlord was losing patience. They even maxed out their credit cards trying to keep the lights on. Every swipe was a gamble, and the debt just kept growing. They were running out of options, and fast. But here's the wild part. What saved Airbnb wasn't some fancy marketing strategy or a huge investment. It wasn't a secret connection or a lucky break from Silicon Valley. It was something so unexpected it almost sounds like a joke. It was cereal. Yeah, you heard me right. Breakfast cereal. When all hope seemed lost, they turned to the breakfast aisle for inspiration. See, this was right around the 2008 US presidential election. Brian and Joe noticed how crazy everyone was getting about Obama and McCain. The whole country was buzzing with election fever, and people were collecting anything related to the candidates. So they bought a bunch of cheap cereal, designed some quirky boxes, Obama O's and Captain McCain's, and filled them up. They spent nights hand-gluing the boxes, drawing cartoons, and making each one unique. It was a wild, creative gamble. They sold these limited edition cereal boxes for $40 a pop. People loved it. The boxes became collector's items almost overnight, and orders started pouring in from all over the country. Not only did they make enough to pay their rent, they earned over 30 grand. For the first time, they could breathe. That cereal money kept Airbnb alive when nothing else could. That cereal stunt got them headlines, buzz, and, most importantly, the attention of Paul Graham at Y Combinator. Suddenly, people were talking about Airbnb, and the founders had a story that stood out from the crowd. Paul invited them to Y Combinator's accelerator program, and suddenly, Airbnb wasn't just a couple guys renting out airbeds. They were now part of a community of innovators, learning how to build a real business. They had proof they could hustle, make money, and think outside the box, literally. Their creativity and grit became their biggest assets, and people started to believe in their vision. But here's what really matters. That cereal move showed the world that the Airbnb founders weren't afraid to get scrappy. They were willing to do whatever it took, even if it meant gluing cereal boxes at midnight. They turned a desperate situation into an opportunity by being creative and fearless. That's the kind of thinking that separates the dreamers from the doers. So, if you're a founder stuck in a rut, remember, sometimes the secret move that'll save your startup doesn't look like a business plan. It might look like a crazy idea, or something nobody else would even try. Sometimes it's about seeing what everyone else misses and going for it, even if it's a little crazy. The best solutions often come from the most unexpected places. That's how Airbnb changed everything. From cereal boxes to a global empire, their story proves that resilience and creativity can turn the impossible into reality. If you found this story helpful, hit subscribe for more real startup lessons you won't find in textbooks. Who knows, maybe your own cereal moment is just around the corner.